Hello, welcome to this series of Federal Civil Service Promotion Exam CBT questions and answer. Today's lesson, we are going to consider the Public Service Rule Chapter 1 and 2, and in our subsequent edition, we'll be looking at the Public Service Rule Chapter 2 and 3. So don't miss this edition. What you simply need to do is to hit the subscribe button so that a quick update can be given to you once such videos are uploaded. Now pay attention as we'll be considering 50 CBT questions and answers that you might most likely see in your exams. This is a new track Federal Civil Service Exams series. Now let's go straight to question number 1. From the question number 1, we have the question, what is the primary purpose of the PSR as stated in the foreword of the PSR book? Is it to define the employment relationship between employees in the public service and the government, to serve as a guard for private sector employees, to outline international trade relations, to provide a historical overview of governance? The right answer is option A. The foreword explicitly states that public service rule defines the employment relationship between employees in the public service and in the government. Question number 2. The 2021 edition of the Public Service Rule is a review of which previous edition? This is a very important question that you might most likely see, and I want you to expect this question. Is it the 2005 edition, the 2008 edition, the 2010 edition, or the 2015 edition? Now, the correct option to this question is option B. The foreword mentions that the edition of the Public Service Rule is a review of the 2008 edition of the PSR. Question number 3. What emerging issues were reflected in the 2021 edition of the Public Service Rule? A. Only financial management system. B. Performance management system, talent sourcing, volunteerism, virtual meetings/engagement. C. Only disciplinary procedures, international diplomatic protocols. Now, which is the right option? Option B is the right option. The foreword categorically stated it that because of emerging issues after the COVID-19 pandemic, emerging issues such as performance management system, talent sourcing, volunteerism, and visual meeting or engagement made it important for the PSR rule to be reviewed, and the right option is option B. Now, question number 4. Who is encouraged to study and imbibe those rules and their associated and complementary instruction, guidelines, and extant circulars? Is it only chief executive officers, all public servants, only new extrants in the service, or only the head of civil service of the Federation? The right option is option B. The preamble of the Public Service Rule states that all study that employed all civil servants to imbibe and study the rules that are found in the Public Service Rule. Question number 5. How often shall the Public Service Rule be reviewed? Every 2 years, B. Every 3 years, C. Every 5 years, or D. Annually? The right option is option C. The foreword stated that it must be reviewed every 5 years. Question number 6. What is the consequences of reproducing any part of the 2021 edition of the Public Service Rule without express approval or authorization? A, B, C, or D? The correct option is option B, as stated in the PSR preamble part of the PSR 2021. 2021 edition. Question number 7. To whom do the provisions of the Public Service Rule apply? Only to the office of the head of the Civil Service of the Federation, strictly to all ministry extra-ministerial offices and agencies, only to officers on grade 17 and above, and to all employees in the public service. The right option is option B. The Rule 010101 states that this provision of the PSR is strictly enforced by all ministries, extra-ministerial offices, and agency. Question number 8. The Public Service Rule applies to all officers in the public service except where they conflict with specific terms approved by the federal government and written into the contract of employment or letters of appointment. This indicates that the PSR is always supreme. B. Specific contract term can override the PSR. C. The PSR is a suggestion, not a rule. D. Only the head of the civil service can grant exception. The right option is option B. PSR Rule 010101 states that except where PSR conflict with specific terms approved by the federal government and written into contract of employment or letters, such can be overruled. That rule apply except where they conflict. The PSR rule apply except when they conflict with the contract of employment or letter of appointment of any approved government official. Now let's look at question number 9. What is the duty of every officer regarding the Public Service Rule and other extant regulations and circulars? To ignore them if inconvenient, to acquaint themselves with them, to delegate the responsibility to subordinates, to challenge them if they disagree. The right option is option B. It's the duty of every officer to acquaint himself with the PSR and other extant regulations and circulars. Question number 10. How are the chapter, section, and rules numbered in the PSR? Randomly. B. C. Subsequentially from 1 to 100, and D. Based on the year of amendment. The right option is option B. The preamble stated that method of numbering starts with giving a number contains 6 digits. The first 2 digits are the chapters, the next 2 the section, and the last 2 the rule number. And that is why we have PSR 010205. The 01 indicates chapter 1, the next 2 chapter 01 indicates the section, and the last 202 indicates the rule number. Correct option B. Question number 11. What does accredited representative of the Federal Republic of Nigeria mean? Any Nigerian citizen living abroad, the diplomat or consular representative of the Federal Republic of Nigeria within the area, a foreign diplomat in Nigeria, or a trade envoy. The correct option is option B. Accredited representative of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is the diplomat or consular representative of the Federal Republic of Nigeria within the area. The Public Service Rule, Chapter 101 and Rule 5 states that. Now let's look at Section 01 and Rule 5 stated that. Question number 12. What does Civil Service of the Federation mean? Service A. Service in any government agency. Service of the Federation in civil capacity as a staff of the Office of the President, Vice President, a ministry and extra ministerial offices of the government of the Federation. Service in the ministry as service in the private sector. The correct option is option B. Civil Service option B as stated in the Rule 0101, page 1, Section 1 and Rule 5. Question number 13. Classified correspondence means correspondence that has been graded Is it public, open or general, restricted, confidential, secret or top secret? The right option is option B, according to Rule 01, 01, 05. Classified documents are defined as documents that are graded restricted, confidential, secret, or top secret. Question number 14. What does cutoff mark mean in the context of the PSR? The right option, if you look at it very well, option A, B, C, and D, the right option is option B. According to the rule, cutoff mark is the score set by the Federal Civil Service Commission to determine eligible candidate for promotion among those who pass the exam as determined by declared vacancies. Question number 15. What is an established post? A. Is it a temporary position in the public service? A new position created without approval? A position for contract staff only? A position provided for under the personnel emolument subhead of the estimates? The right option is option D. Rule 010105 defines such post as a post provided for under the personnel emolument subhead of the estimates. Question number 16. What does expatriate officer mean? Now you should be very mindful of this question. Very important. If you are asked this question, everybody will want to choose option A, a Nigerian officer working abroad. Or people will choose option C, a foreign national working in Nigeria. That is what we know expatriate officers are. But that is the wrong answer. Reason? Because the right answer is option B. According to Public Service Rule Chapter 1, Section 1 and Rule 5, it says an expatriate officer is a staff member who ranks as such for the purpose of pension in accordance with the Pension Reform Act 2004 as amended. So the right option is option B. Take note of this question. You might most likely see it in your exams because it's very tricky. Question number 17. What does gazette mean in the Public Service Rule? Is it a daily newspaper, Federal Republic of Nigeria official gazette, an internal memo, or a departmental newsletter? Question number option is B. According to the rule, gazette means the Federal Republic of Nigeria official gazette. Question number 18. What is interdiction? This question usually come out in most theoretical parts of our exams. And now you can see what is interdiction as an objective. Is it a permanent dismissal from service? Is it a temporary removal of an officer from performing his normal duty when disciplinary procedures for his dismissal are being undertaken? Or is it a temporary promotion, a form of leave without pay? The correct option is option B, which is a temporary removal of the officer from performing his normal duties when disciplinary procedures is being carried out for dismissal against the officer. Question number 19. What is a junior officer? A junior officer is a pensionable officer on grade level 6 and below and their equivalent. The right option is option A, according to page 1, section 1 and rule 5. Question number 20. What are junior posts? Junior posts is post A, post in ministries, extra ministerial offices, attracting emolument on grade level 6 and below and the equivalent. Post for contract staff, post for interns, post for temporary staff. The right option is option A, according to rule Chapter 1, Section 1, Rule 5. Question number 21. What does monthly rated employment mean? Is it employment paid on a daily basis, employment paid annually, employment on monthly rates of pay, or employment with performance-based pay? The right option is option C. Public Service Rule Chapter 1, Section 1, Rule 6 define monthly rated as employment on monthly rates of pay. Correct option is option C. Question number 22. What is an officer when used without qualification? Is it a person employed by the federal government? B. Means staff in an established post, either on pensionable or contract term. Does it mean a person on short-term engagement or a consultant? The right option is option B. Rule Chapter 1, Section 1, Rule 6 define officer as staff in an established post, either on pensionable or contract term. So the right option is option B. Question number 23. What does pass mark means? Pass mark, does it mean the minimum score required to pass any exam? The score below which a candidate is considered to have failed the promotion exam, which currently is 60%. Does it mean the highest score in an examination? Or D, the average score of all candidates? The right option is option B. It's defined as a score below which a candidate is considered to have failed the promotion exam, which currently is 60%. Question number 24. What does permanent secretary mean? I guess this is a simple question, but then many people find it very difficult to answer. Is it A, the head of a department, B, officer in charge of day-to-day administration in the ministry or extra-ministerial offices? Does it require C, the chief executive officer of a parastatal or the head of the civil service of the promotion of the federation? The right option is option B, as we all know. PSR Rule Chapter 1, Section 1, Rule 6 define permanent secretary as the officer in charge of day-to-day administration in the ministry. Question number 25. What does public service of the federation means? Does it mean the service of the federal government in any capacity? The service of the federation in any capacity as defined in Part 4, Section 318 of the 1999 Constitution as amended, or the service of state government, or D, the service of local government? The right option is option B. PSR Rule Chapter 1, Section 1, Rule 6 defines that. Question number 26. What are public service rules? Are they guidelines for private sector employment? Does it consist of policies and guidelines which define the employment relationship between public servants and the government? Is it laws enacted by the National Assembly? D, regulations for international diplomacy? The right option is option B. Rule 010106 defines what public service rule is. You can check that out. Question number 27. What does schemes of service refer to? Is it A, training program for new recruits? Is it a reference document in the public service that specifies the duty of each post, method of entry, including qualification, requirements, and the prerequisite for advancement within and beyond cadres? Or C, retirement benefit plans or disciplinary procedures? The right option is option B, as defined in PSR 010106. You can check that out. Question number 28. What are senior posts? A post attracting emolument on grade level 07 and above. Another post attracting fixed emolument of equivalent grade level in ministry and extra-ministerial offices. Is it post for junior officers? Is it post for temporary staff? Or post for contract staff? The right option is option A. Senior post is defined as post attracting emolument on grade level 07 and above. PSR Rule 010106 defines that. Question number 29. What does spouse of an officer mean? A family member, a wife, husband married under the Marriage Act, customary law or Islamic law, or C, domestic partner, D, a dependent child. The right option is option B. Spouse is defined as a wife, husband, married under the Marriage Act, customary law, or Islamic law. This is taken from PSR Rule 010105. Question number 30. What does staff mean in the contents of the PSR? Only senior officers, only contract employees, a person employed by the federal government, only temporary employees. Take note of a question like this, you might most likely see them. It means staff means a person employed by the federal government, as defined in PSR Chapter 1, Section 1, Rule 5. Question number 31 is taken from the Appointment and Leaving the Service section of the PSR. And question number 31 says, what is the number of the rule that specifies that appointments to the Federal Civil Service are made on the authority of the Federal Civil Service Commission? Is it Rule 1, page 2, section 1, Rule 1, or Rule 2, or Rule 3, or Rule 4? Let's check that out. PSR 020101, that is Chapter 2, Section 1, Rule 1, states that appointment to offices in the Federal Civil Service are made on the authority of the Federal Civil Service Commission. So that means the right option is option A. Take note. Question number 32. According to the Public Service Rule, who is responsible for making appointment into post on grade level 06 and below? Is it the Federal Civil Service Commission, the Office of the Head of the Civil Service of the Federation, the respective ministry or extra-ministerial office, or the permanent secretary? The right option is option C. Public Service Rule Chapter 2, Section 1, Rule 3A states that each ministerial and extra-ministerial offices shall handle all appointments to junior posts on grade level 06 and below. Correct option C. Question number 33. What is the incremental date for an officer appointed or promoted to a post in the Federal Public Service? 1st January of every year, the first day of the month of appointment, the date of assumption of duty, or the date of promotion. The right option is option A. PSR Rule Chapter 2, Section 1, Rule 4 established that the incremental date of an officer is the 1st of January every year, provided the officer has spent at least 6 months on the grade with good performance before enjoying the increment. Correct option, answer A. Question number 34. Who determines the seniority of an officer? Or what determines the seniority of an officer? Is it the date of appointment, the date of assumption, the date of appointment, or the date of assumption of duty, whichever is earlier and duly certified in the appropriate register, or D, the date of confirmation? The right option is option C. PSR Rule Chapter 2, Section 1, page 5, or Rule 5 states that seniority is determined by the date of assumption of duty certified by an authorized officer and or date of present appointment as reflected in the appropriate register and career progression of the officer. So the correct option is option C. What is the rule number that prohibits the employment of unpaid staff in the Federal Public Service? Question 35. Is it rule in Chapter 2, Section 1, Rule 5, Rule 6, Rule 7, or Rule 8? Let's check that out. The right option is Rule 6. Chapter 2, Section 1, Rule 6. It explicitly states that the employment of unpaid staff is outrightly prohibited. So the correct option is option B. Question number 36. Who is responsible for keeping the up-to-date personnel record of every officer? Is it the Federal Civil Service Commission, the Office of the Head of the Civil Service of the Federation, the respective ministry or extra-ministerial office, or the Accountant General of the Federation? Correct option is option C. The rule states that permanent secretaries or head of extra-ministerial office shall keep an up-to-date record of every officers under their control. So the right option is what? Option C. Question number 37. What form must be used for an officer's staff record, and how many copies must be sent to the National Record Center? Is it Gen 60, 1 copy, Gen 61, 2 copies, Gen 60, 2 copies, or D, Gen 61, 1 copy? PSR Rule 010107I states that the form should be Gen 60 and 1 copy must be sent to the National Record Center in the office of the head of the Civil Service of the Federation. Another should be sent to the Accountant General of the Federation as it goes. I want you to check the rule in order to confirm this answer, and the correct option is option A. Question number 38. According to Rule O Chapter 2, Section 1, Rule 2I, where are advertisements for posts on grade level 7 to 17 to be made? On the Commission's website, in 3 national newspapers, in the Federal Gazette, or D, both A and B? The correct option is option B. The correct option, this should be an error because the correct option should be option A and B, and the correct option is option D, because Civil Service Rule Chapter 2, Section 1, page 2I states, Rule 2I states that appointment to post on grade level 07 to 17 should be made through advertisement in 3 national newspapers and the Commission's website. So it is option A and B, and so option D is correct. Both are correct. So the right option is the correct option is option D and not B. Question number 39. What is the maximum period within which application for advertised posts must be submitted? A, 5 weeks from the date of advertisement, 6 weeks from the date of advertisement, C, 2 weeks from the date of advertisement, and D, 8 weeks from the date of advertisement. Correct option is option C, 6 weeks from the date of placement of adverts. Option B. Question number 40. What action should be taken if an officer dates of past birth recorded on appointment is changed without due authority? Is it A, it is to be ignored, B, it shall be regarded as an act of serious misconduct, C, the officer will be suspended, D, the officer will be terminated? The right option is option B. Public Service Rule Chapter 2, Section 1, Rule 7II states that the change of date of birth without due authority is to be regarded as an act of serious misconduct which may lead to dismissal. Option B is the correct option. Question number 41 is based on recruitment. Question number 41 says, how does the Public Service Rule define recruitment? The hiring of new staff, the filling of vacancies by means of appointment of persons not already in the public service of the Federation of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, or D, the process of appointing public servants. The right option is option C. PSR Rule 020201 defines recruitment as the filling of vacancy by direct appointment of person not already in any of the public services of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Rule 42. Which of the following is not a type of appointment recognized in the Federal Public Service? A. Trainee or pupil. B. Non-pensionable contract. C. Casual appointment. Or D. Acting appointment. Now pay attention to this. You might most likely see this question in your exams. And the right option is option C. Out of all the employment type of appointment we have in the public service, casual appointment is not among them. So the right option is option C. You can check that out in the rule 02, 02, and 02. Question number 43. What is the quota reserved for recruitment of persons with disability? Very sensitive questions. Take note of it. You might most likely see it in your CBT exams. Is it 2% A, B 5%, C 10%, or D 15%? The right option is option B. Public Service Rule Chapter 2, Section 2, and Rule 2B reserves 5% of all recruitment for persons with disabilities. Question number 45. An applicant for a public service position must possess a testimony of good conduct from which of the following? A. His or her last employer. B. The last school or college attended. C. Both A and B. And D. A local government chairman. Which is the right option? Option C is the right option, because there he must possess a testimony of good conduct from the last employee, and also, if not previously employed, from the last school or college attended. So the right option is option C, which is both A and what? And B. Question number 46. 46 says, what is required for a person who has previously been employed in public service and dismissed or called upon to resign? A. They are eligible for reappointment immediately. B. They must obtain prior approval from the head of the civil service of the Federation. B. They must obtain the approval of the Commission's power, and it should be obtained irrespective of any delegation of the Commission's power. D. They are not eligible for reappointment. Question number 46 has the correct option as option C. PSR Rule Chapter 2, Section 2 and Rule 7IB requires that any such applicant must obtain approval from the Commissioner's power, irrespective of any delegation through which he gets the appointment. Question number 47. What document is required for appointment to senior posts? Question number 47 has the correct option B. PSR Chapter 2, Section 2 and Rule 8A specify that all applicants for senior posts shall possess a complete form from the Federal Civil Service Commission, that is Form 2, FC2. That is the form that is required from such applicants. Question number 48. What form should an officer newly appointed to a pensionable establishment use to provide their personal particulars? Is it FCSC Form 2, Gen 60, or PSR Form 1, or Oath of Secrecy Form? The right option is option B. PSR Rule Chapter 2, Section 2 and Rule 9 states that any newly appointed officer is required to enter his or her personal particulars on a staff record form Gen 60. Question number 49. every newly appointed officer or staff member is required to sign which of the following? Is it A, public service rule, B, oath of secrecy, C, employment contract, or D, oath of allegiance? The right option is option B. PSR Rule Chapter 2, Section 2 and Rule 10 mandates that every newly appointed officer or staff member must sign an oath of secrecy on security, which is Form 1. So the right option is option B. Now the last and final question is question number 50. Question number 50 says, what is the consequence for a public officer found to be a member of a secret society? A written warning, B, immediate suspension, C, serious misconduct leading to dismissal, or D, demotion. The right option is option B. PSR Rule Chapter 2, Section 2 and Rule 12 states that contravention of Rule 020211, that is prohibition of membership of secret society, shall be regarded as an act of serious misconduct which may include dismissal from the service. So the correct option is option C, which is serious misconduct leading to dismissal. So the right option is option C, not option B. So take note of this. This is not correct. This should be option C. Good. So this is the final question we'll be looking at in the series of public service rule preparation for promotion examination. In our next series, we will be considering the Public Service Directorate promotion exams, rules for appointment on probation. Don't miss that series. In order to get updated once that series is uploaded, be sure to subscribe to this channel, and also be sure to also put on the bell icon so that you can be notified once the content is uploaded. Once more, we have a complete 599 page book that contains questions from your public service rule, financial regulation, civil service handbook, and other important documents that can aid you pass your promotion examination, including most recent current affairs. Don't forget to check the description section of this video in order for you to get a copy of that book. It is essential for a success of your exams. All the same, I wish you the best in your exams and look forward to seeing you come out successful to your next level in the federal civil service. Congratulations, and look forward to seeing you watch our next series. Thanks so much for watching, and bye bye for now.